Shalom Aleichem, everybody. In the very beginning of Parashat Balak, Balak hires Bilam to curse Bnei Yisrael. The Torah tells us that Balak sent messengers to Bilam expressing his fear about Bnei Yisrael. And he said, Hinei am yatsa mimitzrayim. There is a nation that left Egypt, and it covers the land, and now it's staying right near us. That is what Balak said to Bilam. What's interesting, however, is that when Bilam reported Balak's fears to Hashem, so to speak, Bilam changed the wording slightly. When Bilam set out to curse Bnei Yisrael, Hashem appeared to Bilam and he asked Bilam, who are these people that are with you? And Bilam replied that Balak sent him to curse Bnei Yisrael because Hinei ha'am hayotzei mimitzrayim. Balak says, this is the nation, ha'am hayotzei, that is leaving in the present tense, that's leaving Egypt. When Balak sent word to Bilam, he said, Hinei am yatsa mimitzrayim. But Bilam said, Hinei ha'am hayotzei mimitzrayim. Why the difference? Why the change? Rav Moshe Feinstein, in his Sefer on the Chumash, Drash Moshe, says that the difference stems from the fact that Balak and Bilam viewed Bnei Yisrael in a fundamentally different way. Balak thought that Bnei Yisrael were like any other nation. Balak thought that when Bnei Yisrael left Egypt, they left their history in Egypt behind them. They left their experiences from Egypt behind them. They left the great miracles that they saw in Egypt behind them. Mitzrayim is a thing of the past. That's why Balak said, Hinei am yatsa mitzrayim. They left Egypt. It's behind them. However, Bilam knew better. He understood a reality about Bnei Yisrael and the values that Bnei Yisrael have that Balak did not understand. Bilam knew that in Bnei Yisrael we build on our past. We actually have a daily mitzvah, twice a day, to remember Mitzrayim, to remember that Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim, to remember that Hashem sees what's going on in this world, and He has the power to change the world, and He uses that power and involves Himself in the world. And that, for Bilam, is the whole difference between Bnei Yisrael and other nations. That's why Bilam said, Hinei ha'am. This is a unique nation. They do things and they see things and they remember things differently than every other nation. Why? Because they are ha'yotzei mimitzrayim. They are leaving Egypt right now. Bilam understood that if Bnei Yisrael were, like Balak described them, if Bnei Yisrael were just a regular nation that left the past where it belongs, so to speak, in the past, then Bilam understood there would be nothing to fear about Bnei Yisrael. If Bnei Yisrael completely forgot their experiences in Mitzrayim, if they completely forgot that Hashem took them out of Egypt, then they would assimilate in every country in which they found themselves. An assimilating nation is no cause for concern. However, Bilam knew the truth. Bilam knew that our national memory, our national shared experience, our repeatedly recognizing that Hashem runs the world today as He did in Mitzrayim, that is what enables and has enabled Bnei Yisrael to survive, and that has what enabled Bnei Yisrael to change the world. That was true then, and it is still true today around the world, and it's especially true in Eretz Yisrael. Everything we have accomplished and everything we have yet to accomplish in this amazing country is built on the past. We are certainly forward-thinking. We always daven for the future to arrive, for the beautiful messianic future to become a reality today. That's absolutely true. And we do so by looking backwards. Where did we come from? What are the Torah values of the Avot? What are the Torah values of the Imahot? What are the Torah values of the Shvatim and the Shoftim and the Nevi'im? And how can we and how must we apply them today? Shabbat Shalom, everybody.